Women's Rugby Treehouse.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Women's Rugby Treehouse. I am Julia. I'm here with Hattie and Sian. We are going through all of the pools for this upcoming Women's Rugby World Cup 2025. We have just covered Pool A. We are here back for Pool B. Just a reminder, in case you're following along at home, Pool B is Canada, Scotland, Wales, and Fiji. And for the outline, we have Hattie.
So we'll start off, if you watched or listened to Pool A, you'll know how this is going to go. But basically, we're just going to run through each of the teams in the order in which they were selected via rankings. So we'll start off with Canada, currently ranked number 2 in the world. Canada have actually played more warm-up games than any other team. They had 2 games in South Africa. And I think they also had like training games against South Africa whilst they were there. Yeah. They played against Ireland and they also played against the USA. Unsurprisingly, they won every single one. Wild.
Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew that would happen? This could really, really help the team, which is described quite aptly as being game starved by a lot of their players. They don't have a domestic league at all. Their players are spread all over the globe. And despite the rest of the pool being a bit of a bun fight, it's unlikely that they will face any major issues in the pool. The team's mission, win the Rugby World Cup, has met its fundraising goal, but they are still running on significantly less than their competitors. So I think their budget, I want to say, is what, like 3.6 million for this year, which is significantly more than normal, must be said. Yeah, the
Just
players
saying something.
Yeah, they're being paid for their time in camp. But obviously anybody who is self-employed, which a lot of them are, or anybody who maybe can get time off work are still having to work, versus Wales, who are almost entirely professional. And there are a couple of people in the squad who don't have proper contracts, but blah blah blah. We won't get into it. So they are not professionals, basically what we're trying to say. Their time is being compensated for, but they are not professional. Their fundraising and their general running costs are minuscule. They're on like 3.6 million. England is on like an absolutely barnstorming amount. Scotland was like 9 million.
I think Wales and Scotland were about the same, weren't they? About
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah, and then New Zealand was slightly more than Scotland, and then England was just like dominating. Yeah, ridiculous.
Gazillions.
Yeah. So that's our main caveats. But the major thing that I would say for this team is their injury concerns from the warm-up. So Rory Wood is out with an ACL injury, which is
Really unfortunate.
so unfortunate.
What's an ACL?
I know, she really, I don't think she was really starting or really.
No,
I wouldn't
but
say
a really solid bencher.
Yeah,
I just hate ACL.
She was
Mostly.
I wouldn't say she was on the radar really before this year, but then she had an absolutely standout year for Ealing, and that's really bumped her up.
I was just gonna say she had a fantastic PWR season.
Yeah, so I think she went from being an outside chance to being nailed on as the bench option, and which for Canada, who are probably outside of England, even so, like they give
Really
England,
not threatened.
yeah, like their front row is incredible.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's the second best in her position.
All three of their starting front row, by the way, start ahead of all of their English counterparts at all of their PWR teams.
Yeah, and I think didn't they have either last year or the year before, the World 15 Team of the Year, the front row was Hope Rogers, and then the hooker and
it was Emily Tutosi and Dalika Menon, I believe.
Yeah, like their front row is obscene.
The North American front row. Yep.
Yeah. And then Alex Tessier who is the new captain of Canada, had a concussion in their last game against Ireland.
Oh.
At least you can overcome it. It's not
How long are you out? How long are you out for a concussion now? I can't remember.
The pro guys are out for like 6 days minimum.
Oh, I thought it was a bit longer than that. She should be okay
Yeah,
then.
I thought it was 2 business weeks, but you're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was a bit longer.
I think it's 6 days if they fail their HIA but don't have any symptoms the next day. I think it's
Right.
6 days, so it ends up being
Okay.
like a week. But otherwise, I think it's like 10.
Ah,
Okay.
okay, that
Yeah,
makes
the 10
sense.
was what I was
Mm.
I've been really impressed with Canada. I've watched quite a few of their games. What I like about them is they play rugby. They look really comfortable with the ball.
They're
They
really, really good at just the rugby
They,
part of
I
it.
think I
exactly,
put
yeah.
in our group chat. I was watching the Ireland game, and I was like, I think this is what you'd call a spanking in the first half. Like they switched off a little bit in the second half, and I think losing Alex Tessier, like she's
It,
playing 12, but she
she's just
controls the
brilliant.
game more like a
Yeah,
fly
I was
half.
gonna say
yeah,
she's a
and she's
really great
captain as
tempo
well.
keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's where the switch off happened, is like maybe 10 minutes after she went off, it just
Mm.
kind of started to go a
And
little bit wrong.
when you're at the score that they were at that time, you don't really want to risk it. We were talking a little bit off air about it's a trade-off. It's really hard to sit where we're sitting and be like, it's smart or not smart to play warm-ups this close to the cup. Obviously, you want to be warmed up. You don't want to go in not having played at all together in the last few weeks. However, and we're seeing it with a few of the teams that we're going to discuss in a second here with this pool. Um, with every match comes risks,
Do
and
you
It's
really
got to
want
be in
your
the back of their minds.
yeah,
Got
like
to
your
be in the back of their
captain
minds.
going out with a concussion 2 weeks before the World Cup?
Mm.
we saw it. We saw it at a much lower level compared to the World Cup. Let's look at it in perspective. But when Adele McMahon ended up being taken out of Ireland, it completely changed what was a really kinetic, I'd say, Ireland.
Team.
They were having a lot of progress. There was a lot of forward momentum, and it seemed to kind of stagger.
Yeah. So
Tell you who's, can I just say who's really impressed me? Well, against Ireland, I thought she was amazing. Was Simmons in the centre?
mm,
She was fantastic.
Flo Simons,
yes.
absolutely.
So this is
That
like
was a successful sevens crossover.
Yes, yes, because I think she won
nobody,
she was in the Olympic team,
nobody,
wasn't she?
nobody crosses over players like Canada, and I hesitate when people talk about crossover athletes. I don't think anybody does it as well as Canada, including New Zealand.
and I think
Fair.
part of that is like the rugby culture in Canada and the way that they play sevens and 15s. When you look at some of the
Mm.
top sevens nations in the world, we're going very, very off topic here, but the top sevens countries in the world, like the two pathways are
It's
quite
still
split.
important. It's still
Mm.
important to note because this is a marked difference that Canada has that no other countries have. This is important for Canada.
Yeah, like in Australia, the two are very separate from quite a young age.
They basically don't mix.
Yeah, in New Zealand, they don't really mix. Like when you look at the Levi
Mm.
sisters, they grew up playing AFL, they played a little bit of league, and they played sevens, but they didn't play 15s
Mm.
as teenagers.
Portia is often discussed as a blueprint of crossover with a huge heavy asterisk because there wasn't a choice when she was doing it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say against her will, but when she was doing it in a way that even she has
It was
said
the only option.
was mentally one of the hardest things to ever
Mm.
overcome. And then we skip, somebody who's like a little like maybe 10 years younger, Jazz Joyce, who still talks about how dire this crossover is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you look at Canada, they don't have the option. The girls that are playing sevens and 15s, they don't have an option because sevens is professional, 15s is only paid per camp. Um, so if you're a sevens player and they want you to play 15s, you're doing it.
Mhm.
But anyway, moving right along, we did also see the return of Sophie de Goat, but
Yes.
Sophie to Goaty.
Sophie de Goaty, but
Sophie
in
to
a
kicking. Sophie to kicking.
yeah, but in a new position.
I know.
Why not? Why not? That's
Well,
what she
she,
did
you
right
know,
before the World Cup.
yeah.
Yeah,
After
so
a long
Because
layoff when
as the announcer
you haven't played for a million years.
as the announcer said in the USA Canada game, like it's just fun to watch a lot kick.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's just so her dad actually played lock when he was captain, and her mum played
Sure, why not?
eight, which is fun.
She's trying to make both of them proud.
Yeah, she's making both of them. Her brother was also a lock for Canada.
That's right.
So it's,
He's a big old boy.
yeah, big old boy.
That's right.
She was stood there. She was obviously like packing down with Tyson Bookaboo. Tyson is big. Like
I love the
Tyson's,
boom.
Tyson's also a big girl.
Tyson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyson is a big laugh. I would like to point
Although
out
let's also caveat Sophie is not small. I
Sophie
think she's
was
like
stood
5'10".
No, Sophie was stood next to Tyson, and
Oh,
Sophie was taller.
okay.
No, she was taller.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
really?
Yes. Yeah, she's not a small girl. It's just when you put her next to everybody else.
I say this is slightly off topic. I wrote an article about Canada about a month ago, and in my process of writing about Canada, I ended up looking up a lot of photos of Hans de Goody, which is Sophie's dad, and in every single photo, he is significantly taller than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm
Like,
saying is that it's cheating to be Dutch and Canadian. I'm just saying. And I'm right.
yeah. And her mum's from Alberta, which is like the Midwest of Canada, so I just assume they're all really
Correct.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
old farm girl.
Yeah. So they're just large. But she was great. She's back kicking.
So good to have her back.
It does feel like a
wait,
bit of a waste.
I was gonna say, so
Yeah.
notable. I feel that Canada has made one error that I can think of that like keeps popping out in my head in terms of selection. I understand that Sophie Duguay can play everywhere. I just feel like there's very little that you can do in terms of recruiting women that will equal the body of Emma Taylor.
Yes.
I think
I
not having her there is incredibly weird.
I think they've got such. I think maybe their thought process is they've got so many options in the back row.
Is the depth
Paquin's
right?
got Paquin's back, and she looks
God,
like she's never been away.
She
Oh,
hasn't
she's
lost
brilliant.
anything.
I love
She's
her.
like 38.
She's truly.
I love her. She's one
I
of my
mean,
favorite players.
you know what she makes me think of a lot? Kelly Brazier.
Yeah.
In terms of longevity and in terms of like when
But
you
she's
go
doing
away
it
and
at
come back, it
7.
looks like. Oh, I
I
know, but
know.
it looks like you never left.
Yeah.
I know. It's nuts.
Anyway.
I mean,
Yeah, she's awesome.
how long?
I love her.
How long was she out
2 years, I
from
think.
Elite One? Oh, it was 2 years. I thought that it was maybe like.
So
No,
I don't think she's played an
16
international
weeks.
since like 2022, and I don't think she's played
Oh,
rugby at all in like 18 months to 2
No.
years.
in
I don't
18
think she
months.
has.
That's what I was thinking. Was it injury?
No, she just wanted a break.
That's wild. I could have sworn it was an injury. How do you take off 2 years, you come back and you play like that?
I know,
Okay.
it's nuts.
I'm thrilled. I think England is in danger on a day that is for Canada.
But I do think, they've got so much depth in that back row. And when you've got they've got depth in that back row, but it's not like Wales or even the USA where their back rows are quite small.
Mm.
I was
Their
gonna say
back
they also have a really dynamic
their
breadth
back
to
yeah,
choose from.
their back row are tall. Like Sophie de Goody is obviously the standout. She's like 5'11", 6 foot-ish,
5'10",
whatever.
5'11", yeah.
I think she's more closer to 6 foot. Like she's tall. But so you think, well, we've got 5'7" locks in Wales. Like she's absolutely fine to slot into the
5'6", look.
yeah.
We do.
Like,
No, I mean we joke, but like we have to go into it anyway.
we are not tall.
Yeah, we're short asses. Like,
well,
but yeah, I do think Emma Taylor having like they've gone in with like Tyson as their major second row. But if you had Emma, it's just an extra option.
I know.
I
I
know.
just feel like it would really free up. I mean, not that a whole team is one person, but if you have Sophie de Goody,
she's a cheat code.
I'm just saying she's a cheat code.
Imagine if there was like a North American Lions.
Yes.
And it's just Sophie de Goody and Aleph Kelter on the same team.
Well,
oh my God.
My pipe
Hope
dream.
Rogers and Emily Totosi.
I would love this so much.
My pipe dream is a pack for 15.
Oh,
that would be really cool.
Imagine Alev and Portia playing together. Imagine Alev and Caitlin Vahakolo playing together. Yeah, let alone that, right? But I would love to see like Kate, Zach, Sophie, and I mean, I would love to see Kate, Zach, and Sophie. Never mind. But I think I'm right.
Yeah.
I think I'm right, and World Rugby should call me.
And I think
I know.
I'm going to say this. I think Australia would lose out on a lot of players there, and I think the USA would have more representation because the USA team is quite lopsided. But we're not talking about the USA right now.
Hope. Okay. I was about to go in.
We
Hope
talked about
Ryder's
them.
nailed in.
Yeah, nailed
No,
it.
you're right.
Yeah, they've got the USA is a team of stars, but there's like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
What do we think about Scotland?
oh yeah, Scotland number 8th in the world. Ongoing contract issues. This is our major. There was breaking news
Yes.
last night.
First of all, just to get it right out of the way, this pod stands entirely behind the workers, always. The workers are the players. We stand behind the players. Thank you so much. There are a few players who, and I'm not going to name names, who have reached out for some coverage that we've done of the team before. We are so happy that you're talking to folks. Keep talking. Sunlight is the best disinfectant for this, and you guys know better than anybody. And in fact, we mean it so much that Hattie put it on the shirt. We know what you guys have gone through. And we know what you're capable of in terms of fighting for yourself. So the women's rugby world is behind you. Keep pushing it.
Yeah. The Celtic conspiracy
Go on.
is alive and well.
Very
Yeah,
alive and well.
definitely.
And for the purposes of the Celtic conspiracy, America is Celtic.
Yeah, you've got Boston. Boston's basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
So one of the founding fathers Welsh or something? I don't know. I can't remember. Something.
Jack
Who
Daniels
cares?
was Welsh.
Jack Daniels was Welsh. Yeah.
John
loads.
Adams sounds like the name of somebody who played for Wales in 1972.
Yeah, you probably knew my dad.
Probably knew your dad.
Yeah. He's the only rugby player my nan remembers. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Scotland. It's like we had it with Wales. It's just
I was gonna say from three unabashed fans of Wales women's rugby and from knowing what they
and
went
Scotland.
through.
We love Scotland. It just
Absolutely.
They deserve so much more.
For people who maybe are a little bit out of the loop, it has been ongoing for a couple of months now where you've heard that the contracts were not in place and that a lot of the current players were not having their contracts renewed maybe after the World Cup, and there just didn't really seem to be a lot of clarity around that issue, and very different from the Wales situation where nobody wanted to talk about it, and very, very different from the Ireland situation a few years ago where anybody who did speak was excommunicated. We actually had Captain Dr. Rachel Malcolm sat in interviews being relatively open as you could imagine somebody going through kind of a trade union dispute of sorts. And the SRU kind of claimed the other day that the talks are concluded, and Captain Dr. Rachel Malcolm did not look pleased.
As Welsh fans, we know what that means.
Yeah. But then Rona Lloyd came out yesterday and said that, well, yesterday at the time of recording, that over half of the 32 women's squad going to the World Cup is not contracted after the World Cup. Rona is one of the ones who is still contracted. But then the SRU,
we wonder why.
Yeah, the SRU came out and gave the worst chat back I've ever heard, where they went, the over half figure's incorrect.
Par for the course, by the way. Since we did veiled mention of Shibby, par for the fucking course, by the way, SRU. You're really holding up that every time they deserve the absolute worst. Are you kidding? In a World Cup year where it's right over your border, I don't think it's going to go well for them.
I understand.
Not in 2025.
I know.
I understand when you're like, oh, we're gonna have a rejig after the World Cup. Let us have
an inquest. Let us have an inquest.
Yeah, we're gonna have they're gonna have a new coach after the World Cup. Thank God. No offense to Brian. However,
yeah,
across the board, it was welcomed by the players, so that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, it was time. We'll go with that.
You can only do the same thing so many times and expect different results.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But when you're playing with central contracts, you can't just go, you're going to play this tournament and then you don't have a job.
And if you
Not
don't
just
like
any
it, you can
tournament,
just
the World
and if
Cup.
you don't
Yeah,
and if you don't like it, you can just not play this tournament. That doesn't work.
it's not the Six Nations. Like, anyway.
Which
I
they've
mean, that would
tried,
be bad enough, to be honest.
which they've tried doing this to them before. This
Yeah,
is
I
not
know.
the first time. CB was talking about it for Six Nations.
Yeah,
It's
just
awful.
it's really poor.
Anyway, so we're, as a pod and as fans, we are slightly concerned about the disruption that the contract situation has had on their preparation.
We're hoping that it doesn't end up having any effect on the play. We only say this as 3 Welsh fans who have seen what it can do when you are behind the scenes going through it.
I think it has affected them, though, hasn't it? Like they
And
haven't. I mean, I think
so.
part of it is you just touched on Hattie, the coaching situation. You know,
I
we've
mean,
talked
think
about this on the pod before. Obviously, we don't really think that the coaching setup has been good enough for the talent that they've got. So that's
No.
obviously going to have an effect. But I don't know. They're
And
not
think about-
playing it to anywhere near their potential.
No.
Think about going into your job on a Monday morning, having found out on the Friday night before that half the people that you're going to go see in the office, like they get to keep getting their pay, but you're going to be on half pay starting. And then, by the way, after a few weeks, it's completely over.
Go and
How
win
are
the
you
World
going to
Cup,
perform?
and then yeah,
They could win the World Cup. No, and the worst thing is that as far as can be believed from SRU, they could win this World Cup and it wouldn't change anything. They're not going to, but they could. And what SRU is saying is we are not willing to look past the length of our nose.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyway,
But
other 2 big issues that they are also facing. Firstly, they do have an injury crisis at hooker. Both Lana Skeldon and Elish Martin they've been named in the squad, but they are both injured.
Ellis girl, I know you got my DM. Please DM me back. I gotta know.
She was on crutches and in a boot at the send-off.
I know. And I know she can't actually tell me, but I have to say it because, girl, I'm worried.
We're scared. We're scared. They've also had massive ongoing injury issues at lock. This has been going on for like well over a year now, and it feels like as soon as one person is back, somebody else is out. So that is
Captain, Doctor Captain who's playing. Captain Doctor, what do we call her?
Captain Doctor Rachel Malcolm.
You know, she played at lock.
And then also, if anybody can help it, please don't get any more chest tumors.
No.
If you can help it.
No, that would be helpful. And then into the backs. The backs also have issues, and it's coaching because it is so unbelievably unorganized. It's actually more unorganized than the USA backline is.
It's so frustrating.
It is a group. It looks like a bunch of people they've never met.
They've got such good backs.
And
they've got such a great backline.
It's not like Wales where their backline is shit. Like they're actually.
But all of your backs are really talented. You've got 2
and
Olympians.
It looks like they've never met. It looks like they've never met. And then all of a sudden, they do something.
I know.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is magic.
Because like Emma Orr is going to pull something off. Lisa Thompson's going to pull something off.
You've got Fran McGee.
Gonna...
Emma Orr.
Yep.
Chloe Rowley.
Yep.
We'll ignore the 9 situation.
Rona.
Come
on.
Yeah.
You've got a sevens. You've got an Olympian sevens level 12. That's insane.
Yeah, they just have so much talent.
If we are to draw the parallel, Scotland has the same setup in the centers as the USA does.
Yeah.
And USA is finding ways to capitalize on it. You can. Scotland absolutely can, and they don't, and it blows my mind.
Just shockingly bad. Anyway, moving on to Wales.
I wish I had a beer to crack. I just cracked my beer already, but just imagine, and I am.
Yeah. So interestingly, Wales are in this pool and they are 3rd in this pool, but they are ranked 9th in the world because we did climb slightly. However, when
you're welcome.
However,
you're welcome.
However, this is because when we were basically free falling during the Cunningham era, just free falling into a slow death.
And the best.
You
Yeah,
were at
just
eighth. You were at eighth.
we were like sixth at one
We got
point.
up to sixth, yeah. I think, yeah,
We were like
Wow.
fifth
I'm
or
sure.
sixth.
I memory hold that, but there we go, sixth.
We were in
Okay.
WXV1.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay, and it was terrible, and it shouldn't have happened.
Thanks, Julia. No,
I
it was.
said it as a
No,
fan.
No, I agree. No.
Everybody came out of it and said that they didn't feel that they learned anything. We talked about this last episode. There comes a time when a clobbering doesn't teach you anything. That's
100%. No, I agree.
Anyway, that was. But
that's a great intro for Wales. Where are Wales as they come into this?
so they did end the losing streak.
Briefly.
But followed it up with a brutal loss.
Mm.
Not so great.
What can we take from it though?
I do think that I think we did play well against Australia. We talked about it in the last pod that Australia were poor. You have to take that into the context.
Agreed.
But you still can only beat what's in front of you. And we could have still played rubbish against a poor Australia side and lost. The main takeaways for me was that we actually looked comfortable with the ball and they were making the right decisions. They weren't going wide too quickly. They would, I don't know, there was just,
I think
they
it's
looked
really
organised
it's
and
really
everyone knew their role.
yeah, it's really important to mention that between the two games there were kind of significant changes between the two sides.
There were.
That's
So
what I was-
it was a different 10. We had KP at 10 instead of Lakey. Alcal went off injured, which we'll touch on in a bit, very early on into the game, which meant that so she'd been the captain for the first game. She was co-captaining with Kate Williams in the second. So Kate Williams ended up being captain for the first time ever. It was supposed to be a co-captain job, and she then ended up being just captain for good like 75 minutes, 70 minutes, something like that. So they're two big changes to have a different 10 and a different captain.
I thought Flaky and Kira were really good in that first test. And
It was
it was the first time I've ever seen them clicky. They controlled the game, and I don't know. We missed Flaky, I think, in the second test.
I think I said it to both of you at the time that one, how amazing is it that when you plan your attack around your 10 rather than the 10 that retired 3 years ago, it actually works.
You're absolutely right. And
100% right.
And second of all, I think that game and then KP following up and having kind of a defensive nightmare, to be fair to her.
Yeah.
Love her, but it wasn't good.
It wasn't good, no.
It just
I
wasn't
think
No.
it cemented Lakey as starting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
completely. Can there be anything said about both preparation and reaction to, so in the case of in this case it was a series, basically it was 2 matches, and we've seen this before, and in fact it went the exact same way last time. Can there be something said for preparation and for studying, you said it best, for studying what's in front of you or what's going to be in front of you? Do you feel that there might be, I hesitate to say problems because we have so little insight into it, but might the Wales analysis not be where it needs to be? Match over match. Match over match. And I say that because it felt like they came into the first Australia match really studied. And then it felt to me, watching the second one, like half of it fell out their ears, or that they didn't study as much between. I only say that because there wasn't a lot that I could pinpoint between the first performance and the second that felt like such a gulf as what you ended up seeing. I it could absolutely be the case that I am just looking for something else to point my finger at other than the players. And yes, the teams ended up looking quite different for Wales versus not that different for Australia. But you need to have nailed this process down when you're going into a World Cup, because you're not going to be given grace. Your next match is going to count very much. It's not a series where you can blow it off. I only bring this up because we've wondered it last year and we've wondered it before. Do you guys feel like they're being prepared adequately? I guess
think,
I'm just gonna say it.
in my opinion,
Strategically, not physically or on the pitch. I mean, in
yeah,
terms of knowing who you're facing.
I think that playing Australia twice, we've done it back-to-back years now. We'll probably do it in the future because it seems like there's some sort of
Seems
weird.
like they're best friends.
Yeah,
They want to do it every month, I think.
yeah.
Feels like it.
I think part of it, in my opinion, falls on Australia and how they prepare between
That's fair.
matches. They both times have gone into the first Wales match and been underprepared. They've underestimated Wales and they've fallen.
They also seemed pretty
Disjointed.
unprepared with each other. It was very
yeah.
much that they had just come back together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although they had played more recently than Wales had.
Which was what was weird. That was why I'm asking, is there a disconnect? Because I don't believe that it is like to keep on with it. I don't believe that it's lack of ball knowledge by Wales.
No,
I don't think that's the problem anymore.
I kind of think though with this, like it's happened 2 years in the bounce where Wales have won the first match and then they've been slaughtered in the second match against Australia.
Yes.
And part of me thinks it's on Australia.
That's fair. What do you think?
I think
okay,
Wales.
Well then, but that's useful information though. What do you think that Australia does? That
I think Australia was so. I think they had a bollocking basically after both matches, like last year and this year.
Well then, so we want to ask, why doesn't Wales get bollocked?
Because they'd won the first one.
Because they'd won the first one.
Yeah.
I
also think that things
fair.
went.
There's a different. I do think there's a difference between
that's
the win
absolutely
this
fair.
year than the win last year. I think
the win this year
was
It was
better.
different.
We looked so much more organized. We actually looked like a team to me.
Felt more professional. Yeah. Absolutely.
Whereas last year, to be honest, it just felt like a fluke.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this was a fluke win, but they at least
that was
looked
the
more
prevailing
organised
narrative too. That was the prevailing narrative. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think the second test, like, we're not going to suddenly become so disorganized in a week, like in a couple of days.
I agree. So that was,
I think it was the personnel changes.
I was going to say, I think the team that Sean picked in the second test, I don't know, like the second row combination, I was like, no, this doesn't work for me. And we don't have a huge depth of players. We play better when Ala was in the team, frankly. Stuff like that. I think, it's just little things like that.
I was going to say, especially having reflected on Canada recently in this episode, reflecting upon the differences, or like Canada also changes up, for example, their second row pairing all the time. But when it happens for Wales, I really haven't, and I hate to be looking at history again, but like the last time that I felt like I saw a Wales that could really interchange in that middle of the scrum area was like Sian Lillicrap. And that was just from like sky high rugby IQ. It wasn't even necessarily physical skill. Now, when you're playing a several years improved global field, I feel like it's a much easier target to acquire, and I think that's what Australia did.
Yes.
I think targeting, because anytime you change in this situation, anytime you change a partnership of any sort, centers, second rows, front row, that can be a weakness unless you're Canada and all of your people are ironclad. But you got to do your homework.
Yeah. I think as well with Wales, we have the interchange in the second row, and it's because up until literally a couple of months ago, we didn't really have second rowers. Like we had
Gwen Crab,
who Gwen Crab is a specialist second row, but she's 5'7".
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And now we have Alau Piers. Thank God, she's 6 foot. She is a specialist. She's never going to go anywhere. However, she's like 19.
We've got her, and this is what brings me on to my next point, is that in the second test we had 3 uncapped players.
That's right.
One of whom being Tilly Vukaj, I believe, or Vuka, her second name, who is a second row, who is very tall.
Yeah, she's massive.
Okay, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I love it.
I think eventually it's going to be her and Alau.
Yeah, I agree. When we look towards 2029, It is
Well,
not a
yeah.
2025 thing.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you bring this up because you know that it lets me bring up my favorite subject. Unfortunately, the thing that I care most about is certain set pieces as a hooker. Right, okay, everybody knows where I'm going. So we have to have Gwen there because there is no Alicia Butchers.
Yeah.
You need a receiver in that line out, and Tilly is great, super young. I don't think that she could pick up.
She
I
was
don't think that
literally
she-
playing in the under-20s festival about
was
3 months ago.
playing in the
Yeah, it's
U20
nuts.
festival. It's fantastic that she's there. I think if there's any time to blood you in a hard situation, it's this one. However,
She was so young she wasn't playing in
Oh
the
my
Celtic
God.
Challenge.
oh my God, she wasn't in the Celtic Challenge. And
Not that I remember anyway.
I thought she did play in the Celtic Challenge, but I might have got that
I
wrong.
don't think it was like every match though.
I think she might have played for
will
Gwalia,
you guys
but
keep talking? I'm gonna
sorry, my
No,
Gwalia
you guys keep
database is
talking. I'm gonna go look.
failing.
Shut
But
up. You
but
are
yeah,
the
I
quality
think
data.
I think she might have been in the team.
I think she might have been in the squad, but probably maybe didn't play.
Yeah.
She might have been like on the bench or something.
Because it was Lau and then it was someone else.
Lily Terry, who
Yeah.
is also a really good prospect.
So
I
it
think
wasn't
she played
Tilly.
in the 20s.
Tilly, please post more on Instagram. Thank you. I'm on your Instagram and it's not helping me.
It's literally like 2 photos.
That's usually
I think
where
I've
I
already
go.
Yeah.
It's usually
We
where I go to
definitely-
learn things.
We definitely, I
She's
think
the
Wales.
Welsh Ruth Campbell, and I say that with so much love.
I wish you posted as much as Ruth Campbell.
Imagine, if we ever have a Lions tour and they go on the Lions together.
Come
The
on,
Lads
can we-
Tour. Right, but it has to be run by Maisie Davis.
Oh,
The
okay.
Lads Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we've got 3 children went to Australia and played in the second game.
That's
We've
what
got
you
another
love.
child now going to the World
We've got
Cup.
another one, yeah.
Branwen.
So Tilly and then Catherine Baverstock, who's from up the road from me. Fun fact. And then Saren Lockwood. Saren has been like, if you're
Great
interested.
job, Lockers, by the way. Your dad is a fan. What's up,
Yeah.
Mr. Lockers?
Love you.
Yeah.
I think she went to Whitchurch High, so I particularly, and Cardiff Quinn, so.
Yeah, she did go to Queen's. And she was also born up the road from me as well.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she moved back to Cardiff.
I
Nice.
love that you're like, I'm Welsh, but then are you
Apparently Buckinghamshire and Bedfordshire is just absolutely full of Welsh people.
full of Welsh people?
Who knew?
I'm always saying this.
What a weird. What a weird thing. We're not going to go into the story about how I accidentally met my second cousin at school.
Oh my God, that is the most Welsh story.
Yeah, that's typical. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not seeing her in a single Celtic Challenge coverage.
Yeah, I don't feel like I
Did
don't
she
remember.
play Celtic Challenge?
I'm sure she was on the bench. I think I've just made it up.
Anyway.
Hallucinating. Anyway,
Saren, if anybody has been like in and around Welsh women's rugby and kind of obsessed to the level that we are, you've probably heard of her. She was I think it was like under 20s player of the year, and I want to say it was like across men's and women's, so she beat the boys.
oh, wow. I didn't know that.
At Cardiff.
That can't be true.
I think it was under
That
18s.
can't be true.
Maybe
No,
it
a
was.
woman could.
That's too woke, sorry.
No woman
That can't
could.
be allowed.
That's woke.
I feel like
First
she was
of
like
all, this podcast is not woke.
it was like under her dad posted it,
I remember. I remember.
and it was like under 18s, and she'd won, and I don't remember it saying girls or women's on there. And
She definitely, yeah, no, she did win player that, yeah,
was
but I can't
Pillow.
remember what it
That
was.
was Pillow.
and then
Yeah.
it was like awkwardly with a bunch of the Cardiff players, like men's
Yes.
players.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that was
who-
why Sean got it.
Like who just looked really confused by this tiny blonde girl.
I think I love seeing
That
the
couldn't have
youngsters
been
come
Tilly, though.
through.
But she,
I'm so
like-
happy for them.
Honestly, when she came through, and like she obviously came off the bench, replaced Kira Bevan, who is one of Wales's best players, one of the
I
best nines
think
in the
one of
world.
one of the best nines in the world. Yes.
Yeah, she came on, and we've had it quite often recently where Kira Bevan's gone off, a new nine has come on, and there's been a noticeable step down. Considering
and we should note real quick, just while we're on the topic, Sean Jones is injured. She will not be at the World Cup.
yeah,
Which is a big deal.
I don't think she would have got picked anyway, to be honest.
no,
I
'cause
am
she-
positive. I am positive she would have. What?
no, because she
The
didn't go to Australia, and she got
And go to
picked.
Australia.
Yeah, she was picked to go in the under-20s instead and got injured. Whereas I believe,
So do we think Meg Davis was always going to be number 2?
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. Okay,
It
that
seems
makes
that
sense.
Sian Jones
That-
has dropped in the favour, I think,
yeah,
since
because
Sean's come in.
Meg,
that's for another day, because that's a
But
whole
yeah,
other
that's for
conversation.
another,
That is
probably another
shocking.
conversation.
because
Yeah,
Meg
that's
was
shocking.
coming off the bench at Gloucester, and
Yeah.
then when Sean came in, Sean and Meg were both in the squad, but Meg was coming off the
Yeah.
bench for Wales in the Six Nations, and Sean wasn't
Oh.
injured then.
Okay.
No, she was just playing for
No, I
Gwalior,
see
I
now.
think.
Yeah.
I see now.
So anyway,
All
All right.
Sarah,
Fiji?
she
Or
was.
Saren.
I've still. Oh, mate, I've still got time to go. We haven't even talked about Captain Cymru and her injury
shit.
concerns. Anyway, I was just gonna
This
say,
podcast is not biased.
and no, Saren just phenomenal. I'm really excited for the future, and I think
I'm
it's good
stoked.
that she's in the squad
I'm excited for her.
to have a good shout. And this is very off topic, but isn't it Saren Singleton that has switched from 9 to the
Yes.
wing?
Yes.
Also very excited
Also,
about that.
mega excited about her as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were coming through so close together. It was just a bit. But
And they're both called Saren.
they're both called Saren. Anyway, my one concern in both matches, in the win and in the loss as well, is the physicality in the forwards. Just wasn't.
Yes. Yeah. I think that was part of what I think Allow brings us and why I think we're better with her in the team.
I think and
Agreed.
although Maisie is quite small for a loose head prop in comparison to others,
No, she's not.
She's tall.
yeah, but in comparison to
not
Hope
small.
Rogers, she's quite slim for a prop.
Oh, slim,
she's-
I guess. But her height.
She is slim, yeah. She's not,
Yeah.
I
Quite
guess, but
tall.
she's tall. She's tall.
She's tall, but she's
I stood next
incredibly
to her at
physical.
Estrid Manach. She is, yes.
By the
I know.
way, Sean doesn't believe that any rugby players are large except Mace Davis and
Allow.
Pierce.
And Gwenllian.
Yeah, and Gwenny P.
Oh, and Gwen Lane. There we go. So 2 giant
True.
props you will finally give it to.
And
Or
a giant
prop and a
block.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allow, yeah. We'll give it
But yeah, I think Maisie brings a physicality that is just.
Yeah, she does.
There's
something about Maisie.
Maisie has really great physical work.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
It's because she used to be a back rower.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
be.
I
There's
was
just
gonna
something
say-
about them.
Honestly, she looks for work like a flanker.
Yeah.
I would say.
Love it. But our biggest concern, she
Yes,
has been
please,
named in the
let's-
squad today. Co-captain Cymru, which doesn't quite work. Alex Callender
Yeah.
got some sort of ankle
I
injury.
mean, that's
They've been a bit vague about it still, aren't they?
I understand it. All of that is true. There is an injury concern. I am sorry. She has to be there. I'm sorry. They have a leadership concern, and Alcal is the answer.
Yeah, I think we didn't quite touch on it, but
end.
Hannah Jones / Diavale / whatever her last name is now has dropped as captain.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to go too much into it, but yes, dropped as captain.
Yeah.
I think it was time.
And we were all expecting Alcal to be the replacement. I don't think anybody can doubt that. However, she's actually co-captain, which we were like, oh, maybe that'll happen. However, she's co-captain with somebody none of us were expecting. Even
No,
me,
that was-
and I am the captain of her fan club. It's Kate Williams.
Yeah, no, that was
and
I'm
the captain of the Shafted fan club, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I think Kate, when they've done
it's
stuff
not about Kate.
since,
It's that it's wild that they're the same position.
yeah, that is weird.
That's what's wild.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I mean, they're very different personalities.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I wonder
is question.
Which
I
I
think
wonder
that's
is
the
why.
balance.
I think, yeah, exactly. It's
I think
the balance.
And I think Kate, when I actually looked into it, has actually like quite a lot of experience as captain.
Absolutely.
And I think she's quite calm. So where Alcal has gotten
think
into
that's-
trouble speaking to the referee before.
It's smart to have. No. The only
And
reason
even
I bring
Kira
up the
Bevan,
scene-
like Kira's quite feisty as well.
Yeah.
I understand, but I
still
understand,
think
but
it's a
don't-
bit.
I understand, but don't agree.
Yeah.
She talks to refs so well. The refs fucking love her.
Apart from when she gets spicy.
It's never comparable when you have alcohol in the field. I think Kate is very much an agreeable good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish she played. It just so happens that they play
But
the
they
same
play the same
position.
position.
Right. But at the same time, also, since we're edging into it anyway, I think at this point, so this is where we have a little bit of differences between us three. I personally believe, despite everything, I still believe Alcal is best at 8. I know that that's not agreed upon, and I know that George Evans exists. I absolutely acknowledge it. For me, I like unshackling Georgia.
I think Alcal has grown into playing 8. I think her first match
That's
was a
how I feel.
disaster.
I feel
The
that it has
island game,
grown.
the island game when she played 8 was a disaster. I don't know how much of that was that she just wasn't fit enough after coming back
Yeah.
from injury and all that kind of
That's
stuff
fair.
and
Yeah.
other
That's
stuff
fair.
going on.
That's fair.
She was
I just
magnificent against Australia.
I
I
just feel like
I was
Alcal
blown over by her performance against Australia, to be perfectly honest.
I think
she has the mind for it,
the weird
in
thing
my opinion.
is that
I
got
could be converted, basically.
we've got 3 sevens playing in our back row,
Yeah.
Yes.
but they are all completely different.
And I feel, by the
Yeah.
way, and I'm going to do it again, only because nobody else is going to do it, but I also feel that there is a noted loss of Alicia Butchers, who is a very, staunch 6. And I do
Yeah,
feel that we are
Alicia
missing.
Yeah.
Alicia is an out and out 6, and I think
And I
Yeah.
feel that we are missing that.
Yeah.
and I love
Somebody
Beth
who
Lou.
has somebody who has no desire to do anything but what that singular job is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Beth Lou. I think she's a great player. She is
I think Beth Lou is super versatile.
I also think you try and move her to 8, you try and move to 6, doesn't quite work. Like, she's just a 7.
No.
But
Mm.
I would say
I think she has the skill sets, but doesn't want to.
yeah.
What is it with all of our players on the second and back row? They all seem to play all the same positions all the time.
I agree.
Like mix of positions, rather. Sorry.
I feel that it is a Welsh style.
Like
It
if you
has
think of
seemed
all
kind
of our,
Welsh brand.
apart from we're now doing it to Alcal, but like they're all playing. They're playing lock. They're playing flanker. They're playing number 8. It's like Bryony King's the same.
I think
Lou.
it's more to do with the fact that we've got a bunch of players who actually aren't tall enough to play second row. So we have
Yes.
to bring
Absolutely.
back row.
And
So
that
our
has
6s are
started
playing
years ago.
lock.
Mm.
And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
it's the same
Like
problem
Abby
in the
Fleming, I would say
we
is more of a
started
traditional
this-
6. I would
We
say.
started this problem back with Shawnit and Shawan when it was just like, you are not
Yeah.
the size to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even like Gwen Crabb, before she
Not
got
the size to be
injured,
there.
like she was playing 6 for Gloucester Hartpury.
And
Like-
it made more sense to be
I
honest.
forgot about that, but
Yeah. Before her injury, like
to me, she's not a 6.
I don't know. She's just too small to play lock.
She's-
I think as we move
That
forward.
was my only problem, is that it didn't feel
Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
the smallest lock you can be. Yeah, I mean we can go around and around in this.
We've
have
just
one
got
spot
it's
that we
a
can have to go on.
yeah, it's the same with the men's team. I think we just seem to produce loads of 7s,
Yeah.
and then we've got to do something with them.
We should play 7s. That's a terrible joke. Sorry.
That's a terrible joke, and you should feel bad for it.
I feel terrible.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shall we?
should we move on
Shall we
to
go
our
to
final
something-
team?
Something a little bit more positive.
Although you say positive, we're moving on
Well,
to
I mean-
the guy that we fired.
Whatever, he's having a way better time there than he did here.
He's out there wearing, I don't know what it is. I know it's traditional wear,
The
but
sunshine.
he's basically out there wearing a skirt, and he looks
Oh
looks
my
great.
God.
Enjoying the
Okay, I
sunshine.
was like, chill, because he looks like he's finally happy for once in his life.
He is giving. I know he's
The
got a
weather is
wedding
better out
ring.
there.
In every thumbs up photo he's posting on Twitter, he has a wedding ring, but he has the biggest divorced dad energy.
He does.
He's like,
does.
I'm a divorced dad, and I have gotten a job
And-
overseas.
Look
I
at
was
me
gonna say,
now.
and I'm on a Fiji and I'm getting to work in Bali for 6 months.
Yeah, like he's. And so, Cunningham's Fiji team.
Apart from that, they seem happy with him, so let's
I think
but
Fiji have improved under him.
let's give Fiji their agency.
But let's be frank, the bar was in hell. Like
It
The
was
bar
low-
was an
it was
absolute
low.
hell. Please give us a quick background.
But yeah, go on.
of
So
where-
not only did they get absolutely smashed last year by Samoa, but they then had a woman. She wasn't the coach. She was like the head of women's rugby, who said that lesbians had no place in the Fiji team.
I mean, come on, read the room.
It didn't last very long after she said that.
She didn't last very long.
Don't make rugby gay.
Don't make
Make
rugby
rugby
gay. And
gay.
see, Hattie is always making rugby gay.
Do you
And
know,
this
so
pod, not
I mean,
helping.
come on.
basically, this guy tweeted under a Pride post, "Please don't make rugby gay,"
I mean, come on.
and
Come on.
it's just become my catchphrase.
It's amazing.
Okay, so it has become like a little bit of a vocal stem for me, especially because like of the people that I follow. And we recently found out the biggest news recently, good, is FFR, the French Rugby Union, has fully put into place a plan that is almost a mirror image of England's, which is good. That's what you want, but it's almost a mirror image of England's for
And they've got
for
more
police.
babies.
And they have more babies. It started with Sochat, which is great.
Who's
She
no
started
longer
the
Sochat.
groundwork. Who's no longer Sochat. I don't know her new name, so I'm gonna keep saying Sochat. I need to learn your name. I'm so
Corinne?
sorry. The last name is Corinne?
Guerin, like with a G.
Oh, Garen. Okay, Garen. Okay.
I
Garen.
think. Don't quote me.
I doubt our French friend has listened all the way into this episode, but if so, we're so sorry.
It didn't have France in the title, so no.
Didn't have France in the title. No, she won't listen. That one, and for those who aren't aware and for who would like to celebrate, Pauline Bourdon-Sassou and her wife Laure Bourdon-Sassou, you may know the name Laure Sassou from before, is the former scrum half for France, has retired, has gotten married to her replacement, Pauline Bourdon-Sassou. They recently
Love this dynamic.
had a baby, Arthur. Baby Arthur is a little boy who was born. We have to assume, by the way, that Arthur Bourdon-Sassou will eventually be in the Six Nations versus Teddy Joyce Butchers. I say Teddy because that's what they said that they wanted to name the baby in Fionn Lewis's podcast, but that their friend recently named their baby Teddy, so now they're like, I don't know. But for now, we're calling him Teddy Joyce Butchers, and I think that they will play against each other in the Men's Six Nations in 19 years.
Mm. And I think Arthur as well, like when your mums are two of the best scrum halves that have ever
in
existed.
The world. Yeah. Yeah.
And like your mum
and you're
who
French. And you're French.
And your
He's gonna be better than Dupont.
Well, he could be coached by Dupont because they're all at Toulouse.
Dupont is gonna be his fucking godfather. Because he and Pauline are such good friends.
It's like a soap opera that we couldn't write.
So Antoine Dupont and Pauline Bourdon are best friends.
Yeah, they're like
they are constantly posting Instagrams of each other. This kid is going to be coached by three of the best French scrum halves of all time.
It's wild.
Fuck off. If this kid so what I would really like is for like one day Arthur comes home.
I'd really like him to become like a hooker.
One day I was just gonna say Arthur comes home and he's like, I think I'm gonna prop.
I think I'm gonna do ballet.
I think I'm gonna be a prop. And then when Pauline and Laure let him back in the house, what is he gonna say? You're so right, Mom. I'm just gonna probably lose like 20 kilo like really quick, and then I'm gonna work on my shit housing.
Yeah.
What if he's not a shithouser at all? What if he's a big goofy love bug and he's a pro? They're not gonna know what to do.
They know how to play hooker.
They know how to play hooker. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyway, Fiji, apart from their divorced dad as coach, which I still don't understand why he was hired. I don't say that
why
he was the only guy available.
I mean, he'd been sacked
they
for bullying, effectively, didn't he? He'd been sacked, or was he pushed, or did he quit? I can't remember.
But we just did the joke about like what Fiji was working with before, and I'm sorry, but
it looks terrible.
Aside,
bullying is better than homophobia, apparently.
Yeah.
Remember, he was also doing homophobia. All else aside, this is the closest thing that I can point to of Fiji investing in its women's team. I know that's not good, isn't it? Isn't that investment that's paying for a Western coach who has like coached a top tier team? They weren't going to before. They were going to have Captain Captain Other Homophobia.
How many are there? I see what you're saying.
The thing that makes no sense, though, right, is that Cunningham.
Who are they going to get otherwise? Eddie Jones?
Yeah,
Kingsley Jones?
Yeah. Kingsley Jones? They really wanted to tank their team.
No, Fiji, they're known for beautiful backs rugby, right?
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah.
hired a
Their
guy.
running rugby is top tier.
Yeah, they've hired a guy who has two tactics, which are
Do they have a
rolling
Sicilian
mauls.
to? I bet they do.
Give it to Cecilia.
Yeah, rolling
They
mauls
have a
and
Cecilia,
giving
I'm
it to
sure.
Cecilia.
I'm sure they have several.
Both of those things, unfortunately, we joke or whatever, but unfortunately, both of those things kind of work for Fiji. I don't think it's all he's going to do. I also saw Fiji play live. They did have a bit of a dynamic play, which I think possibly
I think they
speaks to
had.
like Yoan finally fucking trying.
I think. Well, to be fair, I don't really like. When Ewan took over Wales, we did improve quite a lot. I
It
think.
wasn't okay. So
When
we're
he
looking
first came
back at
in.
No, I know
we're
when he
looking
first came
back at it
in.
with 2020, but we didn't have it at the time, and what we saw at the time was improvement.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
true.
we were similar to Fiji. We were in a really shit state when he took
We're in the
over the Wales.
absolute bottom.
We were like at the absolute bottom, and yeah, he
Yes.
probably put a bit of organization into the squad that we hadn't had before. And I
And
think
then he
he's
did
probably,
nothing else.
and then he did nothing else. We just didn't
Apart from
progress at all.
bullying.
In fact, we probably
Apart
went
from
backwards.
bullying.
Anyway, that's Wales. I think he's probably done a little bit the same with Fiji. He's probably come in to a team that's just got no organization, and he probably has given them a little bit of organization.
But
So
I
I would
say,
expect that kind of to. It's not actually surprised me
Yes.
that they have improved a little
Yes.
bit, basically.
That's exactly where. Yes,
I,
this is
I would
exactly
also
where-
say though that one of the biggest problems with Wales under Cunningham was their discipline.
Yes.
And Fiji are a team not known for their discipline. So that
Yes.
is a
No.
concern. And when they played
It
against
is.
the USA, discipline again was an issue,
It's a
as
Yeah.
really
was
bad problem.
fitness.
Yeah.
Their fitness was
This is what's gonna, I think,
poor.
get them.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
like
think-
Wales's fitness is not good, but it was better than having half your team laid out on the pitch because
I
they
mean-
physically could not stand up anymore after 40 minutes.
This would
Yeah.
unfortunately harken back to something that yet again we could talk out our asses about a lot, but that we actually don't have that much real insight into. But we do know that for Fiji, and this is something that's outside of the coach at all, Fiji as a rugby union is not giving them chances to
Yeah,
get
exactly.
better. Really, really, we need to look at Fiji at a bit of a 10,000 foot look. And we do know that this is the same Fiji that just, I believe it was last year or it was the year before, but this was very recently. But the biggest story out of it was that some of their women's team was running from their jobs to work.
Yeah.
They didn't have bus money.
Yeah.
I need
And I think
people who are England fans, who are Welsh fans, who are South African fans, to think about a rugby team that doesn't have a ride. Nobody has a ride. Nobody has a car. They can't afford it, and they don't have the money for the bus, so they run to practice. How are you going to get better?
And I think
Yeah.
Fiji Fiji as a union does not have the money. It doesn't have the money
Or facilities.
it doesn't have the money, it doesn't have the facilities for their men's team, which is the only thing that brings them in any money along with the Fiji water sponsor. The women's team doesn't bring in any money at all. The men barely bring in any money because they don't have home games.
I was going to say they have to keep stressing that all the time, because otherwise there is no explanation.
Yeah. But the major difference between the men's team and the women's team, which goes for almost every other country in the world, is that the men can go to France, they can go to Australia, they can go to New Zealand, they can go to
women go to
MLR.
Australia.
Yeah,
The women go to Australia.
But what I was about to say is they can go all over the world and get paid huge sums of money so when they go back to Fiji, it's kind of okay because they've been in France and therefore
They're conditioned.
their
bodies are
fitness, their conditioning, they're paid, like all of those things are done. The women are most of them play for is it Fiji and Drua? I'm not quite sure if they've got I wasn't sure if they had a different name. They're playing for them. They're not really getting they're getting paid minimal amounts. They're running to training because they can't afford the bus. And then they've got the societal pressure of in Fiji, a lot of people don't think women should be playing rugby anyway. Like there's so many
of them have come out and talked about how their fathers do not support them now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's
difficult.
so many societal
How do
barriers.
you-
So the fact that they're
How do we
14th in the
address that as
world.
a global community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I know.
So the real question
more than
is
amazing. We don't even see this. I only say this because I've seen so many pieces. Thankfully, we're so lucky in the women's rugby community that we have Elma Smith. But Elma has gone and interviewed a lot of those South Africa women. Most notably, her interview with Babawa Lacha changed my view of South African women's rugby at all. But that's a community, or that's a society that like very highly values their rugby, even if you are a Black Afrikaans speaker. Like, even if you are societally outside of the bounds, you can find a way in. In Fiji, there is nothing but the society. And if you are outside of it, you will get nothing. And that is how they view their women's rugby.
So
actively an enemy.
Yeah, the fact that they are 14th in the world when everything is against them is incredible.
Yeah.
They made the World Cup.
So when they played in the last World Cup, they'd only played 10 test matches.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And they shocked England. Like, they gave England quite a good game. I don't think the result in the end really reflected it, but they gave England a really good game.
No, they held them off for something like 25 minutes before a score.
Yeah, and quite a few of the England players afterwards said, this is actually one of our hardest pool matches. Like, they were so physical, like, their backs were incredible, like, we weren't expecting it at all. I think people have a lot better idea of what...
nation.
Yeah, like, people have a lot better idea of what Fiji are going to do this time round. But when their backs start to go, you cannot control them.
They are shit hot.
Yeah, like, the USA...
They are, look, they have the 7th gold medal for a reason.
Yes, yeah.
Like, the USA let them back into the game in the second half, and it was all their backs.
And it was an error.
And
it was a serious error.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You cannot let Fiji into the game because they don't really, like, their backs don't seem to really plan things. They're just running completely off rugby IQ.
I was going to say, I feel like they are such that and we talked about this earlier about other teams, but in terms of being able to improv in the back line, Fiji has it. Fiji has that special thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, there is a loose ball, whatever, and they're just going to go.
Yeah.
So they could, if there's a Scotland team that are ill-prepared, if they're
not ready.
You know, if there's a Wales team that, you know, we suffer really bad with morale.
I'm going to be honest.
And concentration, I think, as well.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Wales is Fiji's target.
Yes, I agree.
Especially
because we can't control backs
as the coach, and Yoan's their coach.
Yoan knows
I know
the
that
players
team.
inside out. I know it's a different setup, but he does know a lot of the players.
My one thing I would say about that, he is known for not being very good at analysis.
Not paying attention.
That is fair.
We are talking about a man who openly said we didn't watch that back. He said
that
before,
is very true.
Shut up. We'll never shut up about that game.
We didn't prepare. Like,
you're right.
Who doesn't learn his lessons?
We should hope that Fiji Rugby Union possibly doesn't let him get away with that. We don't know, because he has other analysts now who just be like, we're gonna watch the fucking tape.
I'm concerned for Wales. Like I'm concerned that, you know, I know we're not talking about Wales, but I think Fiji could trouble Wales.
I mean, we have to talk about Fiji's outlook among the pool, and I do think that Wales is,
and that's their target game. And I think that if Wales have a bad day,
I was going to say, I
like
think
the second
Fiji is
test,
also Wales's main target.
Agreed. Yes,
I do think though. Obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen out of Scotland.
No.
However, their backline is so disorganised.
I feel on paper,
I think Fiji could run through them.
Yes. I feel on paper,
if you leave holes, they're done.
Yeah.
I feel on paper like Scotland it'll be Canada, Scotland in this group as the first two. But because of the way that everything is at the moment,
I really couldn't
tell you who's gonna. Yeah, I
can't tell you if it's.
I can't tell you what's gonna happen second, third. Yeah,
and I think
that's the fun of Scotland Wales. We know that.
Yeah, and I think
it'll be close
with Scotland Wales. I think Scotland will be so focused on Wales because the games are always apart from that weird game last year, the games are always close.
The competitive games are always really close, aren't they?
Yeah, you've got the kind of boogeyman of the last World Cup where we were so disorganized, but But the Kira Bevan clip that will never die.
Okay, I was just gonna say my favorite thing in the world. No. I'm not gonna talk about the fucking clip. But my favorite thing in the world was at the last Women's Six Nations launch. There was a creator. I don't remember who it is. I'm so sorry if you're a creator who watches this. A creator was talking to Nelly and was talking to all the captains, but came to Nelly. And among the questions were, who is your personal rival and who is the team rival? And so like Nelly heard it and she was just like, personal rival? And she was like, yeah, I guess. And she was like, Kira Bevan.
I love it.
And she was like, our games always come down to kicks. Kira is so good at kicking. I fucking hate her. And then they're like,
Nelly is such a
Nelly is
cold
hard
kicker.
to rattle.
She is.
And Nelly is hard to rattle though. Hot and cold, absolutely. But in terms of like getting her to admit that you can't get her to say it very often.
Yeah.
I think she'd had such a bad kicking day as well.
And
I think that's why it hurt.
I think, we're already over that matchup, but I think
that could play a part again. Scotland's kicking, place kicking.
Yeah.
No.
But what we will see very, very quickly, we've covered Pool A in a different podcast, and we've now covered Pool B. But it will be Pool A facing off against Pool B in the quarterfinals. Both games are being held in Bristol. I'll be there. So we've got England versus
Hattie. She's got a really good voice.
I've got tickets for one of the games, but I have no idea which
Bristol
game I've got. I can't remember which ticket I bought.
So it will be England versus either Scotland, Wales, or maybe Fiji. Who knows?
In fact, if you have made it this long, we would absolutely love it if you would leave your thoughts about how you think that's going to end up in the comments. That would be awesome. We would love to discuss anything if you guys give us feedback.
Yeah. And then the other one will be Canada versus either Australia or the USA. Sorry, Samoa, but
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So with that said, we would absolutely love to know what you guys think about the matchups, especially as Hattie said, these are going to be two of the quarterfinals. If you are coming to Bristol, please let us know. I also have tickets for Bristol. I am really hoping I can make it. I probably can't. But
her dog did his ACL.
My dog did his ACL is the problem, and
now
we're paying.
It's not funny, but it is.
Was your dog playing rugby? ACLs are so common in full breeds.
He's his team's worst 8-man, and
did both her ACLs.
Spud. Yeah. So this is Spud. So this is also my dog Hugo's second ACL. This is his other leg, unfortunately, all my flight money. But first of all, always have pit bulls, but like we get it if you don't. They all do their ACLs.
They do.
But that said, if you're coming to Bristol, please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, please let us know what you're thinking about what these quarterfinals might be. We would really love to hear feedback on Pool A and Pool B. We're really excited to hit Pool C and Pool D. They're going to be huge conversations. We're going to be coming to you with those pretty soon. But otherwise, please, any feedback, we are super welcome. We super welcome it, rather. As mentioned, you could find us on socials. You can find all of us individually on both Twitter and Blue Sky. We're also all three on Instagram, but not really rugby related, but like we're there.
I've got a rugby Instagram.
I was just going to say, except the Rugby History Project, please reach out to them as well. Also, give that Insta a follow. It's super interesting. Hattie recently announced that she has gone both print and audio. It's been fantastic. Definitely give it a look, especially if you are interested in some of these teams, including Les Leonas.
Mm-hmm.
Great work there. Thank you so much for sticking with us so far. We're going to be putting out Pool C and Pool D as soon as we can. Keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, as I've said probably too many times now, we really welcome some feedback. We'd love to have some conversations with you guys. Let us know what you're thinking. Who are you supporting? Who are you really looking forward to seeing? We would love to bring some feedback next time we pop on air. But otherwise, thank you so much for sticking with us. How about you guys? Anything else?
No.
Sorry for yapping.
No.
Always.
Welcome to Yap City. Welcome to Yap City.
It's how we roll.
How we roll. Thank you so much for attending Yap City. We will see you guys soon.
Thank you for listening to the Women's Rugby Treehouse. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us wherever you see us on social. Join us again for more of the same next week. And until then, enjoy your rugby.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.